Oh, sir.
Oh yeah. Yes. 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 That's good. I like that. That's good. That's good. I had to move this around because toddlers yank on things. But I actually think I like where this is a little bit better now. Yay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Today's day 36. It's MiSuNDERStoOd 2. I'm Terrence Taylor. This is Terrence Talks Too Much International. Speaking and coaching. It's noon. It's noon on September 5th. We are here with the Action Snapper. Let's get it. I may or may not continue to look up and over into that corner. Mailman's coming today. And the merchandise will be here. And I know, based on the time of day it is, it might arrive during this beautiful broadcast. So I will welcome those types of interruptions, especially on days like today. Yay. Yay, very exciting. Hi. Can you tell I'm in a good mood? Yes, I'm in a great mood today. Hi. Yes. Terrence Taylor, I'm here. I'm glad you're here. It's a great, beautiful day. Why is my day so good? I woke up and I had to edit. I went to bed kind of late last night, but woke up on my own pretty early, felt very rested and got to it, got an edit done, had a workout, had some morning child time. Although I might have wished to have started this a tad bit sooner and would have loved to finish at noon to end the workday with a 4-year-old who you've been very much engaged with most of the morning. And to finish by 1, that's pretty cool. And we're going to inside playground land. So I'm very excited about the second half of today. There's going to be a third half of today once this merch gets here, which is why I have to stay very close to the door. Once that arrives this evening, I will be unboxing. So I know I said 2-a-days in the final week, but any opportunity there is to do multiple sessions in a singular day, we are taking them. And there's no way I could wait for that merch to be revealed to me tomorrow. It's not possible. It will happen tonight. And I'm not interrupting what I have for you today because, oh man, I got some good stuff for you. On this beautiful day. I have phrased this as my rapper journey parallel. Today is the day to tell you about my rapper journey parallel. That's what we're going to do today. That's what we're going to do for today. But before we get there, I got some housekeeping for you. Today. The first of my housekeeping that I have today is that I was editing episode 24. 24 or 22, one of them things. And I said like so many times, an absurd amount of times, an unnecessary amount of times, to the point where I was listening to myself saying, why the fuck do you keep doing that? Shut up. Like, oh my God, shut up. It's a harsh critique. It's a fair critique. And it's necessary because It's unacceptable. There's no reason for that many filler words. Slow down. And I can notice me speaking faster. So I'm saying more words and saying extra words. What it would take me to say in 5 words, I'm saying that same sentiment in 9 words and then adding 2 to 3 additional unnecessary words or sounds in and amongst that. No. Please don't. Please. I'm working on it. And since making that note a few days ago, it has settled top of mind. So I hope I'm doing better. I'll know once I get to this month's worth of edits. But in the flow, I feel good. I feel as though it's there. The don't say extra words is top of mind, but I'm not thinking don't say extra words. So I don't have to overthink what I'm saying to try not to say them. I have filtered out the use for them. And I feel like I've done a pretty decent job in a pretty quick time span. So I look forward to the improvement of that, which leads me to I was just watching Stephan A and Shannon Sharpe's first day together on ESPN First Take. So beautiful to see 2 of the greatest, most powerful, strong, personalitied Black men in media, in sports, sharing a platform. Stephan A extending the platform to Shannon, them building together, helping and supporting each other. It's so amazing to see. It's cool to see Stephan A in a different space where he's sitting down on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharpe, and how the energy and the vibe and the conversation is very different between these 2 Black men in this space versus on a Disney ESPN desk. And so cool to see and listen to the need for supporting those coming up, the need for Black folk working together, the need for 2 people of grand magnitude to come together, and how they're both very different, how they both have their own expertise, and how they're going to build something really dope together. Talk about listening to somebody who doesn't waste words, is incredibly articulate, is poetic, beautiful, the way Stephan A speaks. So to see Shannon come from where Shannon has come from to be where he is now, and to now be across from Stephan A and to be able to learn from that. I'm sitting here watching Stephan A on YouTube taking notes. So it's cool to see that that experience is going to be a millionfold for Shannon Sharpe and how that goes. It's really cool. It's really cool to see growth, change, improvement, big steps forward for Black men in media, athletes, former athletes. Yeah, championing that. Yay. Which leads me to my very, very last housekeeping of the day. I showed up yesterday with my Rick Rubin tale, knowing that I hadn't finished Shoe Dog, which I feel like I've been reading for way too long. And I had 30 pages left, probably for the last 2 weeks. And I just didn't get around to doing it. There's something really beautiful about how much more productive you can be with your children around. I know the sentiment is you're able to get more done when they're not taking your time and energy and attention. But there's something about doing certain things around him that he sees. So he has the memory of doing the thing or seeing the thing versus just hearing the thing. There's one thing to tell your kid something. There's another thing for your kid to see you do it. There's another thing for you to do it with them. And so sometimes I find the weeks when he's not here, I try to work as much as I can and recover in certain ways. And then when he is here, I want to read in front of him so he sees me reading. And somehow, with him not around, I was unable to read this book. And then the moment he gets here, I've made time to read books with a 4-year-old watching whatever, Gabby's Dollhouse or something. So I was really happy to have completed this book, and I was really happy to have completed it with him around. And in the final pages, it's very interesting that Phil Knight, just like so many other monumentally successful people who create the gems and the eternal creations of our generation in business and art and sports and whatever, another story of, man, I wish I would have spent more time with my kid. For that to be the sentiment of, he was CEO of Nike for 40 years, built it from the very beginning. To follow your path and do your thing and create what you create, and to get to the end of that and say, yeah, that's cool, but I wish my child and I would have spent more time together. So annoying, man. It's so annoying in the, how do I chase my thing with realistic intention? And how do I have balance for what's important? That's the thing him and his wife argued the most about, was balance. What is balance? What does that actually look like? So I don't need to keep hearing the most legendary, successful people in their memoirs and autobiographies say, yeah, man, this is cool, but my kids were pretty important. And if there's one thing I would change. And he didn't even frame it like what I would change, but it was, I wish I would have done this more. So, yeah, it's that thing in the pursuit of what you want that just sticks here. So I'm going to get this done so I could go be more dad. Yeah, baby boy. All right, folks. My rapper journey parallel. How did this get on the plan? Well, I wrote a text to myself yesterday. I have moments of thought streams, and I caught one and I wrote it down. And it feels, as I stop and observe the path and the journey that I've been on the last 10, 15 years, where it's leading is very obvious. Although it wasn't in the beginning what it is now, that specifically, but the general direction of the end goal is the same. And it's hard. Obviously, it's hard to see that when you're in the midst of what you're doing, especially at the beginning of what you're doing. You don't have so much to look back on, to reflect upon. That's very different for me now. And seeing how all of this has played together, how the beginning of me making content in my 20s and what that looked like, and how it's today it's so wild, but not. So the thought that came to my brain, and I'm just going to give you this quotable. I used Terrence Taylor Media, the way artists use hip hop to hop into the next venture. Cardi B, Lil Dicky, who has a great show, by the way, Dave. Similar to how The Rock used wrestling to become the biggest movie star on earth. Seeing it as that, framing it as that, seeing it from that perspective, and then thinking about how the journey, which was my original 40 days of here's what I'm doing, was this, with no money at all. So I have to have more gratitude for those who supported my freelance chapter. And that's true. I do. I've spoken about how I have a bit of a tainted perspective on how Terrence Taylor Media ended, just because of how a few of the situations that existed in the final chapter of that experience were gross and make me feel icky. But if I look at it as a whole, if I see it as the practice that I needed to be able to do this, if I understand it as, in some aspects, doing everything that I didn't want to do in order to figure out what I did want to do, or to figure out all that there is that needs to be done, to then determine if it's something you want to do. Sometimes we want to do something and we think it's these 3 things, and then you get into it, it's like, no, it's these 12 things. Oh shit, I don't want to do that anymore. And I've been able to use the experience of meeting people, getting hired to make videos, promotional videos, testimonial videos, produce shows, hold conversations, host events, etc., all so that I can get to this moment now. Complaining about being in a tax bracket, but realizing that the only reason I can make the art that I want is because I put my head down for 7 years and gave my creativity to other people. And then when I see it as that, all to say, and now I get to make art how I want, oh, that was totally worth it. Totally fucking worth it. That was the sacrifice that I had to make in order to, what job could I have gotten? What other work could I have done in order to get the experience and accumulate the equipment and the resources to do this? I wouldn't know how not to do things, how to do things, how I wanted things to look. I was shooting in black and white for a very long time. 4 clients, knowing that it was all so that I could do this. So I can't be mad at myself for that experience. I can't let it be tainted by the end, because the whole 2017 to 2023, all to be able to live how I live, do what I want to do, have the peace that I have, the growth as a person, all I had to make art for other people that wasn't mine. Give a bit more of your soul than you want to people, all to learn how to protect it better, so that when you go into this next phase, you are better equipped and smarter. That's a fair fucking trade, man. I gotta be grateful for that, really. Because here's the coolest part. when we talk about the parallel for an artist, for a rapper, for example, all right, they start making shit. Maybe they're at home fiddling around on the computer, making this, doing that, cool. Then they get a bit of a buzz, find this, get online, build an audience, do some shows, keep building, get signed, et cetera, stay independent, however that goes. But there's a grind period that I could attest a bit to the last 7 years. Terrence Taylor Media was my grind period as a speaker, as an artist, as a storyteller, which is why I keep saying none of this shit is an accident. These things coming together are because it's stewed and most often put on the back burner. So now I get to enter into half of 2023 and then 24 and 25, where I get to be the artist. I get to make what I want. I get to do it how I want. I have the freedom. I have the creativity. And I have however fast I want to drive this car. There's nothing to stop me, nothing to slow me down, nothing to jazz me up but me. So I get to go through the experience of making my own art, selling it how I want, taking that power back, traveling the world. I'm going to do all the same things I did before. Meet new people, having conversations, creating content, traveling the world. But the deliverable is just a little bit different. And then the way Puff did it, the way Yo Gotti did it, the way Master P did it, all of these artists turned CEOs. Uncle Luke. All right, here, I'm going to make the music. I'm going to learn how the selling of the art goes. I need to learn that system. I need to learn that plan, that blueprint, that way of being. And now that I know what that is, Lil Wayne, I'm going to go through the process of setting this up for other people so that if I want to create art, cool. But my business is in growing and building other artists. So this 2.5 years is all for me to be artist / CEO. Now I'm in the trial phase, the first round of figuring out what this looks like. I build it. As the artist, I'm building it because I'm making the art. But at the same time, Talk Too Much International Speaking and Coaching is not about me. For this 2 years, it's about me. And after that, it really has everything to do with other people saying, I want to create a life doing that. That's just a set of steps to be followed. Franchise. So if I look at me as an artist and doing the CEO work at the same time, all to graduate and elevate to the CEO, that's what this all is. Will it take me more than 2.5 years to perfect it? Sure, fine. But this next wave is me, although purely and incredibly fully immersed in the art, I'm absolutely game planning the business. Because do I want to sit here and talk? Sure. Do I want to have to? No. Nah, set up the plan. Let other people get it. Let's figure it out. And then set up the business where, all right, well, same as a record label, yo. How many artists sign? All right, how many pop? All right, well, who's making money off of that? How many catalogs do we have? There's a back catalog for me, but as this grows, there's a back catalog for others. And if I can grow this, as I grow this and then teach others the game, then I get to fall further and further back, become the CEO of this company, and then figure out, all right, well, what is the next step? Because that's what I was thinking about the last few days. All right, so I never really thought of a multi-year plan when I started this in 2015. It was just like, yo, I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna figure out what I could do. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna see how that is, and we'll just keep checking in each and every day to figure out what the hell is going on. And it wasn't until someone said, hey, you can sell that thing that you do, that I thought, maybe I will do that. And then I got pulled along a path of, here's money for work. So now I really, really do get to say, that's why I continue to say I have such peace right now, because the next, Lord willing, the next 2.5 years, 3 years of what's happening is pretty mapped out. I know what's going to happen. I know what I got to do. All right, cool. It's just a matter of doing it. Fine. Thinking about what my life is as the CEO of Talk Too Much International Speaking and Coaching, and there's 5 speakers on the roster. What does that life look like? Kind of wild. I'm really having to think about this in my mind right now. Yo, what would that be like? I speak, yeah, sometimes, but they speak. My job at that point is likely building more relationships, growing internationally, getting into more rooms that I would have never imagined myself being in, speaking to people and to companies and to supporting growing people that I could have never imagined. To then set up the next wave, because I'm going to meet somebody in this speaking adventure who's going to open the door to something that I cannot even fathom in this moment, which is also why I have a hard time of thinking that far into the future, because I do know that will happen. The company will make money. I'll be able to invest in studios and buy home and have the essential life things that I want, travel, cool, great. All right, I'll have money to invest in other things. What would that be? I'm sure I'll explore that, and that will be awesome. But aside from taking the money I've made and doing other things with it, what's my day-to-day life? What is the what is MiSuNDERStoOd for at that time? What is it? So I'm in real time having that thought. The thought is swirling, which is why I haven't given you an answer. Really? I feel like I'm doing a lot of schmoozing though. Hanging out with people, making friends, whatever that boundary of friends looks like. Then I'm really excited to see that. What does making friends, having acquaintances, work folks, what does that look like in a healthy manner? I'm excited to see that. Somebody to call me up and say, hey, such and such, would you want to invest in this? What? Yeah, sure. I'm in. What? LeBron James gave Phil Knight a Rolex from the year Nike was created as a gift. What kind of gifts will I get from some of the people that I'll maneuver around this world? And culturally, they do things different. So now it looks like I have no idea. And I'm excited. I'm going to think a bit more about that. I'm going to think a bit more about what my day-to-day life 5 years from now looks like. I know what it looks like for the next 2.5, 3, 4. But once exiting from the trenches of doing the grind work to build the blueprint, what does it look like? Selling that blueprint, touring, going to schools and companies and talking to people and traveling. What is that? What is it? And how do you feel about that? Is that part of the plan? Is that what you want to sign up for? When the rapper gets the big song and their next step is making TV shows. All right, well, what's the next step after that? Maybe they want to act in their own TV shows. They want to produce TV shows. Look at our actors and how they've elevated to production, being executive producers. Will Ferrell executive produce Succession? I would have never imagined Will Ferrell butt naked in Old School being a part of creating Succession. So yeah, thinking a bit more now that I'm of an age and have reached an age where I can look back enough to feel confident in looking far enough ahead. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. That wild sentiment of growing up young and black and not seeing your life past a certain age, it's kind of sick when that creeps up, smacks you in real time. Yo, what's your life as a 40-year-old man? 42, 45-year-old man? I'm going to get back to you. Oh, man, I'm going to get back to you. Because that's my rapper journey parallel. That's how I'm going through it. What was it? What's it about to be? What did I go through to get to where it is? And now that I'm here, what do I got to do to get there? How's it the same? How's it different? Because Dr. Dre's still making beats. But now it's headphones. Like, ah. Yeah, let me think. I got to think. Do you see how this experience is therapeutic the way musicians talk about making songs, performing, writing? How it has that therapeutic feeling? This is really, really much more necessary for my own personal soul than it might have felt at the beginning. And yay, great, I get to make money off of this. But more importantly, I get to process how to articulate my ideas, move forward in life, and be successful. And there's a beautiful therapeutic nature that's got my heart and soul cloaked in love and protection and safety. Because this is some scary shit to be doing right now. But it's what you get. It's me. Yeah, it's me. Yeah. It's me, Terrence Taylor. It's MiSuNDERStoOd too. It's the 36th day. 36 minutes. Bye. Okay, I do have to quick. No, this is just quick. Thank you to every client I ever had. Thank you to every person who had to dealing with me. Thank you to every person who paid their bills, their invoices on time, late. Thank you for those who didn't pay at all. Thank you to any and everyone who believed in Terrence Taylor, the creative person, the artist, the storyteller, and did I say the person? The person. If you believed in me, Dave, if you believed in me, you had to believe in me to give your hard-earned or hard-granted money to myself to build what it is I'm doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You get it topless, mainly because I like numbers, but also realize that gratitude is important. So thank you to everyone who was a part of the Terrence Taylor Media journey, the experience, the tale. You are all appreciated.
My daddy makes art, and his name is Terrence Taylor. And I took those pictures.